The 5 type of Trump MAGA bots that you're going to bump into online. Since going viral for a few videos criticizing Donald Trump and calling out his anti-black racist perspective last week, I have had the pleasure of being the recipient of many comments from MAGA Trump trolls and Trump supporters. And based on that experience, I've identified them in 5 categories. So listen here to see if you encountered some of these before. The first one is actually it's a bot. So there are 2 different types of bot. There's the algorithm computer bots that was programmed by a mastermind propagandist in Russia or China with the goal of delegitimizing verified facts, cause confusion, and also actually legitimizing fringe ideas. These are just machines, you can tell, because they're usually parroting the same sort of talking points. But you can also have human bots. So these are folks who are paid to actually engage. They're actually humans, but they're doing relatively the same thing. It's just like repeating certain talking points. Now, the machine bots in the past, people have actually caught them and played around with them, like reply back certain commands, and then the bots change course because, again, it's a machine, it's an algorithm. So that was kind of fun. I got a bot recently that I think was confused because it was using a common talking point that Black Republicans lob against Black Democrats and say that they are on the Democrat plantation. But this bot was criticizing Byron Daniels, the representative from Florida, who is a known MAGA Trump supporter. So it didn't really make sense at all. And I'm like, this bot is totally glitching. I recently got another bot that said, you know, saying can be said while criticizing Kamala Harris of Mr. Harris. Like, Mr. Harris, yeah, you're a bot. Now, the human bots, the regular bots, they're all just bots. I usually just block them and don't even engage. Now, the second type of person or MAGA Trump supporter you're going to find online are similar to the bots in that they just repeat certain talking points that they got these from either a Reddit community, a Discord server, a group. They are that kid from high school who rooted against the home team. They are contrarians. They want to believe they're smart and say, do your research. They feel like they're on a higher plane than everyone else, but in actuality, they're just excited about being part of something that's not the norm. They're not, you know, the anti-normies. And you would know you bumped into these bots because they usually just comment like stupid foolishness on there, like Trump 2024 or BS or you're delusional. It's like the same 5 or 6 things, insults they lob against you, nothing of substance. And even if you were to reply to substance, they're not going to respond back because their level of understanding of the topics of the candidate even very surface, very like immature and like yeah, not worth your time, and never. They usually also get the block. So that's the second type of MAGA, some MAGA Trump supporter you're gonna bump into online. Well, the third type, they are actually folks who came from communities where they had strong convictions. So perhaps someone was really religious, pro-life community, or you've seen also some Bernie bros, which is interesting because somehow, some way, they get radicalized and they wind up in the same pot under supporting and worshiping Donald Trump. And which is interestingly, especially for the Bernie bros, because you went from, you know, being railing against corporate greed and, you know, championing income inequality to now you're supporting a candidate that gave so many tax cuts to the rich and wealthy and corporations that we ended up in $7 trillion in debt. And he dismantled a lot of programs that were crafted to help with income inequality. Politics makes strange bedfellows. So those are the third type. Sometimes I engage with them, sometimes I don't. I have to pity these folks, and so I just usually treat them with kid gloves and kindness. So that's the third type of MAGA supporter you're gonna bump into online. Okay, the fourth type actually is the most dangerous of all of them because this type of MAGA supporter usually is someone who is very intelligent. Like, they are very much aware that Donald Trump is a know-nothing, that he's inept, that he doesn't understand the rule of law, he doesn't understand democracy, that he is vitriolic, he says all these things, he says the quiet parts out loud. They realized a long time ago that Donald Trump was going to use vitriolic, racist, hyperbolic language that targets lots of different marginalized communities so effective that he could drag out what Donald Trump called basement dwellers, who are low voter turnout, disenfranchised white nationalists, all those folks, and bring them out to the polls. And he formed a whole coalition, this cult of those people. And they've been able to use these cults and Donald Trump as a useful idiot to get things like major tax cuts passed, affirmative action overruled, to get Roe v. Wade tossed as the law of the land. So these folks are dangerous. You're not going to necessarily see them fighting you in the comment section. They don't have time for that. But they're on a higher level. What they're going to do is they're going to be the ones managing podcasts or appearing on podcasts, or more sinisterly, funding and paying for influencers, or funding and propping Donald Trump up. So these are the money plays. They're dangerous because they know very well what they're unleashing on us and what they have unleashed to us, but they don't care because they're just greedy. So that's the fourth type of Trump MAGA supporter you might encounter online. Now, fifth type, there are the diehards. These are the folks who are going to go to the Trump rallies, worship the ground he works on. They are in the church of Trump. They have sacrificed a lot of their own moral compass ideas, commitment to fiscal responsibility, interest in true family value, ethics, and the Bible. All of those things they're willing to toss aside for this once charismatic leader who just, he just makes them, gives them all the warm fuzzies. Now, with these folks, these are the ones who are going to be so mad that you're talking bad about their dear leader that they may actually just insult you, or they may engage with you. But for the most part, it's like, I also pity these folks because it's like, yeah, you're just, despite the fact that this guy has no redeeming qualities, you're still this as, toss aside everything that made you up to this point for this one man. And so that's kind of like sad. But anyway, so that's good. They're going to probably leave a bunch of comments on this video as well. And I'm going to block them all. So if you got this far and you're a bot, what type are you? Did you feel seen? Let's discuss below before I block you.